Nothing dramatic happened. No suspension. No trade rumors pushed aggressively. No emergency press conference. And yet something about the way the Browns are talking about Jerry Judy now feels altered. Not louder, not defensive. Just slightly detached. The moment itself didn't look important when it happened. But what Cleveland didn't do afterward is what quietly changed everything, and that silence.
So it looked like the Browns is finally making a crucial decision for Jerry Judy, 2026 season. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Cleveland, and we got to jump right into this story. So one of the biggest red flags going into the season, at least from my point of view, and I know a lot of you guys' point of view, is Jerry Judy. What is going to happen with Jerry Judy? What is going to be the outcome? Will he still be the first wide receiver, first check down pass? Is he going to be the number one guy? And I'm here to tell you, we got some updates on it, man. The Browns are in dire need of wide receiver and offensive line help. Now, there has been many reports that the Browns are looking to add wide receivers from this year's draft. Now, I don't know if they're going to 100% do that, because we know that they be all over the place when it comes to those type of decisions. But as of lately, judging off last year's draft, Andrew Berry looked like he kind of know what he's doing with fixing the team. Now, this article came out this morning right here, man, and I instantly jumped on this.
Is still doing work. What makes this situation worth paying attention to isn't the struggle itself. Wide receivers have down years. Teams survive inconsistent production all the time. What makes this moment different is when the Browns chose to speak and how carefully they did it. Cleveland entered the season expecting Jerry Judy to be their number one wide receiver. That expectation wasn't subtle. It came off a Pro Bowl season. It came with a contract that reflected belief, not patience, but as the year unfolded, production dropped. Frustration surfaced. And eventually it became visible. The sideline exchange with Sheduer didn't introduce tension, it revealed it. A reaction caught on camera. A shrug in response, then nothing. No escalation. No public discipline. No attempt to reset the narrative. That absence matters, because NFL teams are usually quick to control moments like that. Either they frame it as nothing or they step in to reassert authority. Cleveland did neither. They let the clip circulate. They let the discussion burn out on its own. And then they waited. Only after the season ended did the language change, not to defense, not to condemnation. Just a calm acknowledgement of inconsistency, followed immediately by reassurance that Judy would be back. That combination doesn't close a story. It keeps it open, and when a team chooses not to define something clearly, it usually means the internal conversation isn't finished, even if the public one has moved on. NFL organizations rarely operate in ambiguity by accident. When a player underperforms and frustration becomes visible, teams usually choose clarity, even if it's uncomfortable. They either distance themselves quickly or publicly recommit and protect the asset. The Browns did neither. They acknowledged the rough season. They acknowledged frustration, and then they pivoted to conditions. Quarterback, stability, competition, opportunity. Those words matter. Because they don't describe belief. They describe context. Jerry Judy's contract changes how this is handled. $17 million a year, 2 years left. A clean out after 2026 when the cap hit drops significantly. That structure doesn't force urgency. It invites patience, and patience in the NFL is rarely emotional. It's financial. The Browns aren't asking whether Jerry Judy is talented. They're asking whether the timing makes it rational to be decisive. That's why the messaging feels restrained. They didn't say he's the future. They didn't say the offense will run through him. They didn't say the frustration is behind him. They said he could rebound if stability improves. That's not a vote of confidence. It's a placeholder. Teams talk like this when they're managing leverage, not players. Because committing too early removes options, and cutting bait too fast creates dead money and questions. So Cleveland chose the narrowest path possible, one where nothing is finalized, one where evaluation quietly continues, and one where the burden of Proof subtly shifts without anyone saying so out loud. This isn't just about Jerry Judy. It's about how many unresolved variables Cleveland is juggling. At the same time, quarterback uncertainty, financial commitments elsewhere, a roster still searching for stability. The Browns haven't named a starter. They've emphasized competition. They've spoken about improvement without defining responsibility. And in situations like this, pressure doesn't arrive all at once. It accumulates. Because when nothing is guaranteed, everything becomes evaluative. Every route becomes a signal. Every reaction gets contextualized. Every missed connection reinforces something, even if no one says what that something is. Jerry Judy isn't being pushed out. He isn't being elevated either. He's being observed. And observation without reassurance changes behavior, whether intentional or not. If quarterback play improves, the story adjusts naturally. If it doesn't, the contract starts to feel heavier, not because of the money, but because of what it represents. At that point, silence becomes harder to maintain. The Browns didn't change their view of Jerry Judy overnight. They changed how much certainty they're willing to offer him, and when certainty disappears, timelines shorten, even if no deadline is announced. That's the part most people miss. So here's the question lingering underneath all of this. Is Cleveland holding on to Jerry Judy because they believe stability will fix the problem? Or because waiting keeps their options open a little longer? They don't need to answer that yet, but eventually, restraint becomes a position, and when it does, it will explain this moment far more clearly than words ever could.